those fellas, they don't know whether we won the war or not. I went down to the mall, visited the World War II Memorial, and it occurred to me then that I could come there and I could tell people about what it was like during the time when I was a child and World War II began. Where are you from? England. I do point out 4,000 gold stars, each one representing 100 deaths. What those stars also represent are the broken hearts, brothers, sisters, parents, friends. Suddenly they get a telegram, a piece of paper that says that the person they love no longer exists. Think of the tears. I don't know what the effect is, but I try to give them something and interested. Maybe they'll look up World War II, and maybe not. I am Tom Evans, and this is my intervention.
Coming from a religious black background, my mom always told us, put God first, whatever you do. He'll direct your path. And that's what's going on there. That's why I'm here today. Program is the sound of Washington, D.C. Period. When you go to New York, you expect to hear a lot of hip-hop.
Jay, the whole event is live. Yep. Jane, the entire program.
Coming from a religious black background, my mom always told us, put God first, whatever you do. He'll direct your path. And that's what's going on there. That's why I'm here today. Program music is the sound of Washington, D.C. Period. When you go to New York, you expect to hear a lot of hip-hop and rap. You go to New Orleans, you're going to hear a lot of jazz. So when you come to Washington, D.C., or the DMV, as we call it, you will hear a lot of go-go music. This is our home. This is our capital. It's homegrown in Washington, D.C. It's a party, a great party source of music. Call and response. You automatically become a part of it, but you gotta see it live. Hearing a recorded version of a go-go song, it don't really do nothing for you. But if you see it live, then you can automatically embrace it. Because go-go music is a live feel. You right there with it. You right there with it. And you can't stay still. That's when I look around the world by me traveling so many places, I can see that living in America has been a blessing to me. People living in poverty, people are poor, people don't have water, they don't have clothes, they don't have food and shelter. I'm free, so it means a lot to me. Whatever your dream is, go get it. Nobody can stop you but you. Believe in yourself, apply yourself, and be the best you can be. This is Sugar Bear. This is our American story.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. It's such a pleasure to welcome you all to the official launch of Our American Story. My name is Rosie Rios, Chair of America 250, and I'm honored today to be joined by Darrell Green and Mayor Muriel Bowser. Before I go any further, I want to thank our generous sponsors, Walmart, Airstream, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, whose support and partnership are doing so much to bring America's 250th to life. As of today, we are just under 1 year away from July 4th, 2026, our nation's semi-quincentennial. And I'm confident that this is going to be the largest and most inspiring celebration in our country's and perhaps the world's history. America 250 is not just about a big fireworks show on July 4th. It is not just about DC and Philadelphia. We're going from Guam to Alaska, Fairbanks to Philadelphia, and everywhere in between. Yes, we are going to create those once-in-a-generation moments of celebration. So yes, there will be fireworks, but we're also building a movement that will continue long after 2026 and unite Americans long after the fireworks fade. And that's exactly what we're doing through programs like Our American Story. Now let me pause and get a quick show of hands. Who here remembers the bicentennial of 1976? Thank you. Yes. I was almost 11 years old at the time, a fifth grader, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember taking a field trip to the Oakland train station to see the Freedom Train. I remember seeing on our black and white TV the tall ships coming through the New York and Boston harbors. And I remember getting my bicentennial quarter, and this is it, here today. As an 11-year-old girl, 25 cents was at my life savings, but it meant so much to me. But what I remember most about that evening was how I felt. It was a cloudy night in Hayward, California, but those fireworks were never brighter. I remember thinking to myself that if my mother could leave everything behind in Mexico, and she could come to this great nation and raise me and my 8 siblings on her own and send all 9 of us off to college, then anything was possible. On July 4th, 1976, I felt like I was the American dream. And I believe that my story mattered, that my family's journey, our traditions, our challenges, our dreams were all part of the largest story of America. And that's the message I want to share with every American. Our stories matter. Your story matters. And our American story will be built on that belief. This initiative is about gathering voices from across America to build the largest oral and visual history collection in our country's history. We're meeting people where they are thanks to our beautifully reimagined Airstream travel trailers. These will be mobile recording studios that will crisscross the country, making stops in local Walmart parking lots to engage communities and local leaders. We're going to the Deep South. We're going to tribal nations. We're going to rural America. We are coming to you. Over the next year, we'll capture thousands of interviews and document what it means to live, work, and serve in America today. At the end of the tour, the storytelling collections will be shared with the public through a variety of media partners and platforms. And the audio archive, along with a number of videos, will be preserved in perpetuity at the Library of Congress. Now, here's what I want to ask of you. Take this journey with us. Follow us. We're coming to your home state very, very soon. So follow the Airstream as it travels around the country. Follow America 250 on social media, america250.org. Share your story, listen to someone else's, and help us build a collection of voices that reflects the depth and breadth of our great nation. Now it is my pleasure to turn this over to one of our greatest champions, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everyone. And I am just so delighted to join our former treasurer, Rosie Rios, and a great American to help kick off America 250. I'm also delighted to be joined by a Hall of Famer, Darryl Green of the Washington Commanders, an honorary Washingtonian because Darryl had the good sense to marry a Washingtonian. And that's why we gave him the key to the city. We're here today on the nation's front yard, on our national mall, because we're less than 1 year away from celebrating America's 250th anniversary, our semi-quincentennial. The semi-quincentennial has no better launching place than right here in our nation's capital, in my hometown. Today, we're kicking off our American story. The team will be traveling across our country telling the story of everyday Americans. And one of my favorite things to do as mayor is to tell the story of Washington, D.C., because we are proud to be home of the federal government, to have these beautiful monuments and museums. We are proud that 700,000 people live here, work here, pay taxes, go to war for our nation, and we are proud to call the nation's capital our home. We have families like mine who have been here for 5 generations, and new families that arrive here every day because of the great things happening here, because we're the fastest growing state in the country. The #1 park system, fantastic transportation system, and a beautiful arts and entertainment scene. There are millions of visitors who come every year to experience our neighborhoods and to celebrate our vibrant culture, and we are so excited to show it off next year to the thousands who will come to celebrate the nation's birthday. We launched our DC 250 Commission to help lead that work. It will include large national events like our unforgettable national fireworks display, but also decidedly local events that celebrate our culture. I want to thank Rosie Rios for choosing Washington, D.C. to launch this initiative. We're proud to be the starting point of the American story. We want people to visit us and go back home and be proud of their nation's capital. Tell them that they have seen beautiful neighborhoods, welcoming people, and enjoyed the hospitality of Washington. Happy birthday, America.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. Now, in the spirit of our American story, I'd like to open up to a short conversation with you and Darryl. So I have a couple of questions that I'd like to pose to both of you. So first of all, what does the American spirit mean to you? Mayor Bowser, let's start with you.
Well, I think the heart of American free is freedom. For me, being an American means we're free. We have rights for speech, and we have a right um, to our pursuit of happiness that is guaranteed to us in our founding documents.
Excellent. Hall of Famer Darrell Green, 20 years on the Washington Commanders. Would love to hear your perspective on the spirit of our American story.
Spirit of the American story is when a little peanut like me, under 5'9", have the opportunity to go to college, have the opportunity to play a childhood game, the opportunity to play that childhood game as a professional for 20 years, and as the mayor said, to meet my wife in this beautiful city, and to be here for now 42 years in the nation's capital. The privilege and the honor to have that, I don't know it anywhere else but in this great country, America.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You know, we are trying very hard to empower the states. We established 56 official America 250 commissions in all 50 states, D.C., and the 5 territories. And the reason we did that is because every state has their own story. Every community has their own story. And so when you think about Washington, D.C., how does community get defined here for you personally, Mayor Bowser?
Well, I'm so glad that you have a great local focus, and I think you will have millions of Americans who can participate in that way in their own communities. For us, while, like I mentioned, we're proud of our status as the nation's capital and the wonderful national museums and memorials that people come to see. But we're also great neighborhoods. 700,000 people live here, raise their families here, and work here. So you saw in your intro, we have a unique music in Washington, D.C., go-go music. And go-go music developed here, performed here, but has also really fed other genres from jazz to hip-hop and R&B. And it is a homegrown music, and we have homegrown talent. So we're very proud of that. We're home we're home also to one of our nation's most storied historically black colleges at Howard University. Wherever I go around the country, there will be Howard University alum who want to talk to me about their experiences in Washington, D.C. And it's just really great that Darrell is here with us because sometimes people think we're all politics and all serious all the time. But we have fun in Washington, D.C., and we especially have fun with our sports teams, including our championship Washington football teams who brought home the championship many times, and we're looking forward to many more in the future.
Darrell, what about for you? What does the D.C. culture and community mean to you?
Oh my gosh, D.C. is the city on a hill. I'm from Houston, Texas. I love Houston. I love Texas. But this is the light. Everything starts here. And I would say, in all respect, government and high leadership, but I would say for my portion, it's Miss Roper, who I met 30-some years ago, living in the community, trying to help her grandchildren. It's Dr. Bernadine Lacey, who came from Mississippi and worked at Howard University for many, many years before she passed on and took me in as a son. It's the people. When I'm down, as I was even a couple of days ago, in the inner city, serving with the kids, this is what I love, and it's launched from here throughout the world. I think Washington, D.C. is the greatest city, and I'm not just saying that. It's the greatest city, but you know what? It has to be the greatest city. When I was in the NFL, I was covering the best player. Your 49ers had Jerry Rice. I had to get the job done. And really, D.C., we're great because we have to be great. We can't take second place. And I appreciate D.C., and I've been here my entire adult life, and I love it. And I'm so grateful to be here with you all today on the wall.
Thank you so much. There's no other place we could think of where today would be the most appropriate setting than right here in our nation's capital. We appreciate you, Mayor Bowser, for all the support that you've given us as a congressional commission.
Absolutely.
Darrell, your reputation precedes you. Thank you so much for joining us today. With that, we're going to wrap up this session, but we will open it up to for a short Q&A following. Thank you so much, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back. Go on first day. Right in that way. Yeah. Oh, hey. Hey, Dave, I'm gonna go high on you. Good, Dave. I'm gonna go up. Good, Dave. Thank you. So where we going now, y'all?
Any additional information I can provide regarding Our American Story? Yes. Yes, absolutely. So we have several airstreams that we'll be making.
If you could go back.
Oh, go back. Okay.
Center.
Excellent. All right. We have several airstreams that are being outfitted as we speak. We will use as many as we can access, again, with this great partnership we have with Airstream. Our intention is to keep this journey going, again, long after the fireworks, all the way through 2026. Part of Our American Story is producing 56 Main Street videos where you can go online to our website at american50.org and nominate whose story you think should be preserved in perpetuity at the Library of Congress. We will visit all 56 parts of our country to make that happen. In addition to that, we will also have these activations on Walmart parking lots. About 24 of those activations will include these kind of what I'm going to call these neighborhood cookouts with our sponsor. That's going to include Walmart. That's going to include Coca-Cola. That's going to include Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and many of our other sponsors who are coming on board now. In addition to that, we will have a kind of a Living Legends Titans of Industry series where we are going to produce, in the end, 250 total high-quality videos that will be preserved at the Library of Congress. We will also be providing technology to museums and libraries so they can also take in their own oral history projects. And finally, there will be a broadcast partner who will be following us to do the story of Our American Story. This will become that documentary, that limited series that we know Americans will be anxious to see about what happens behind the scenes.
Probably better for the mayor. We know, and I don't know if you can answer this, but President's executive order on cleaning up his town, his executive order again, and homelessness ahead of 250. Can you speak to that at all and how it's factored into what you guys do?
Yeah, what I can say about the administration is that they've been a very great partner. In fact, you might remember when the president issued Task Force 250 on the 10th day of his administration, mobilizing all the federal agencies to take this journey with us. We have received an enormous amount of support from all the federal agencies moving forward. You may know that many of them are part of our commission. So we know that this town is going to be ready in every step of the way.
How long is this going to be lasting from here to all the other?
Well, I would love for this to continue all the way through 2026 and beyond. If we can take this all the way past 2026, let's not forget, this is a global platform. We know that the World Cup is happening mostly in the U.S. in 2026, along with the Olympics in L.A. in 2028, 2 very short years later. So billions of people will be watching what's happening in this country in that very, very short amount of time. We're partnering with all those organizations. We want to make sure that this is, again, a movement, not just a moment. Yes.
Basically idea, just kind of some of the chatter that you had to get to maybe this celebration the way we celebrated it.
Absolutely. Well, we have a great commission, a 24-member commission established by legislation in 2016. All 24 members of this commission are appointed by the House and Senate majority and minority leaders. So half Democrat, half Republican. And part of our kind of ideation was to make sure that storytelling was going to be a big priority for us. And so, over the last 7 years since I've been on this commission, 3 years as chair, is when we really kind of focused on what that programming would look like. And we actually launched in earnest with a couple of initiatives already underway and still happening. So if you go to our website at american250.org, we started with America's Invitation, which is a video portal where anyone still can submit their videos regarding their ideas, suggestions, etc. So we received a lot of suggestions about storytelling. We also launched last spring our first program called America's Field Trip. And we decided as a commission that America's Field Trip should be the first national signature program launched. By the way, our playbook was approved unanimously by this commission in March of 2024. So we are well underway. And America's Field Trip, if you haven't heard, is a national student competition for grades 3 through 12 who get to answer the question, what does America mean to me? The award recipients get to choose from a series of backstage experiences, most of with our federal agencies, most of which have never happened before. And so we intentionally started with the next generation of leadership because we want to inspire them to see their future and make this again about a feeling, not just a memory. But our American story, we intentionally wanted to launch it this year, take it through, again, as we think about this one-year count up to 2026, and then continue it on through 2026, and again, hopefully beyond. But I would say that storytelling for this commission, this amazing commission, was one of the big priorities, and we're so thrilled that we're making Washington, D.C. the official launch of this initiative with our partners.
What kind of stories are you expecting to hear?
We want to unbury the stories that have never been told before. I think my story isn't that unique. I think there are a lot of people who have come to this great country because it is still the land of opportunity. And so those stories of struggle, those stories of what it means to want to pursue that American dream, more than anything, again, this is as much about the future as it is the past. So those inspirational stories of what it took to come to this great country and to pursue that dream is a big priority for us, and trying to capture the spirit of what it means to be American. Yes? Oh, that's a great question. As someone, again, who remembers the bicentennial of 1976, you know, it's so important for our programming to be interactive and physical and connective. We do believe that this next generation, because of the pandemic, because of how, you know, social media has really impacted them and just the internet in general, we're trying to bring physical connection back. So as you think about, for example, America's Field Trip, very interactive. You know, I'll just give you a great example. I participated in some of the field trips last year. It wasn't just a tour of New York. We literally took the National Park Service boat from Manhattan Island to Liberty Island. We got up to the crown of the Statue of Liberty, which doesn't happen on the public tour. We walked the hallowed halls of Ellis Island when no one else was there. We were hosted for lunch by the CEO of BNY, Robin Vince. We got to see the markets room, the trading floor, the cybersecurity command center. We ended the day at the New York Federal Reserve getting an overview of monetary policy and then getting into deep storage, into the vault. I had one young girl come up to me and say she felt like she won the golden ticket, but this is better than Willy Wonka. For most of these kids, first time on an airplane, first time out of their state, first time on a family vacation. And I bet for many of those kids who participated on these field trips, they probably never even knew what a park ranger does. They probably didn't know what BNY as a commercial bank is. They probably had no idea what the Federal Reserve is. And so again, they probably, hopefully, saw and visualized their future. Maybe it is cyber. Maybe it is finance. Maybe it is public service, like a park ranger. So for all of our programming, including this one, you will see these activations on Walmart parking lots where I want them to be kind of like neighborhood cookouts with these global partners, but it'll still feel local. And that's why we worked very hard to make sure to establish those official America 250 commissions in all 56 parts of our country. Now, I want to share with you how important that was for us. That was one of two goals that I made when I first became chair, because we want it to feel like it is local. And so to establish a state commission, by the way, is either by state legislation or executive order, administrative order by the governor. Try doing that in one state. It happened in all 56 parts of our country by the end of 2024. That's how committed we are to making sure that all parts of our country are well represented. And the beauty of having our state commissions involved is that July 4th usually kind of falls in line with some of the state fairs, so you don't have to come to DC, you don't have to go to Philadelphia, you can celebrate the way you want to celebrate in your own home state. And so again, and by the way, today is the beginning of our state and territory commission convening. So those 56 state and territory commissions are actually here in DC. We are launching tonight with our official welcome dinner, but over the next 2 days, We will have these state and territory commissions review their programming, review our programming. What can we do together to really use this global moment and leverage the momentum from all of our distribution channels to make sure that all Americans participate? If you walk away from one thing today, with one thing, it is this: $3.50 for $2.50. No one else has ever made the grand proclamation that all 350 million Americans here and abroad are going to be engaged in this effort. We are going to do that together with this administration. All 350 million Americans will participate in one way or the other. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well done.
I'm surprised I'm not hot. Believe it or not, I'm not hot.
We're coming up on the 250th anniversary of our country. And maybe this 250th anniversary is a step for us. We have our own anniversaries, and they're important too. This is what I looked like when I was 18. I didn't know what war was. How could I know what war was? I never studied war. It never occurred to me that something like that would happen in our own country. Shipped out to Pearl Harbor. I was assigned to the submarine base at Pearl, and the messages all came in code. There's a door down here protected by 2 steel doors, and that's where the radio, all the communications take place. I never saw action, but I did see a lot of heroes. I don't know how many of them are still lying in the ocean bottom there in the Pacific. And those fellows, they don't know whether we won the war or not. I went down on the mall, visited the World War II Memorial, and it occurred to me then that I could come there and I could tell people about what it was like during the time when I was a child and World War II began. What is on England? I do point out 4,000 gold stars, each one representing 100 deaths. What those stars also represented were broken hearts, brothers, sisters, parents, friends. Suddenly they get a piece of paper that says the person they love no longer exists. Think of the kids. I don't know what the effect is. I could have given them something interesting. Maybe they'll look at me. Maybe not. I am Tom Evans.